Ambassador Dayal, so your assessment of the situation here, do you think diplomacy can thrive and strive for peace between these two nations? Something similar has happened in the past as well. Israel and Iran have been at loggerheads in the past as well. But of course, if Iran is developing nuclear weaponry, then it's a direct threat to Israel. They're also justified in defending themselves.
Well, I don't think that at this particular stage, diplomacy will be able to achieve much because the conflict is moving towards escalation. Mr. Aaron, who is the panelist from Israel on our show, was correct in saying that the Israeli authorities regard the threat from Israel, from Iran, as being an existentialist threat. They are always facing Iranian hostility. You know, I served in Iran in the early 1990s as the deputy to the ambassador. And at that time, there used to be a constant charge of death to Israel. And that has continued. Now, if Israel feels that Iranian nuclear weapons would increase the existentialist threat, then it is not without reason, because as it is, Iranian missiles are able to attack Israel. And if these missiles had nuclear warheads, then naturally the danger to Israel would increase several times. It would be an existentialist threat. And that is why, because of the fact that there is such a confrontation between Israel and Iran, given this present state of hostilities, it doesn't seem to me that efforts directed towards finding a diplomatic solution will achieve much. Of course, India has said that both sides must de-escalate. We have said that they must sit down and try to have a dialogue and resolve the problem. We have even offered to mediate. For that matter, the G7 has said that it would be in the interest of everybody to have a ceasefire, and it has called for de-escalation. Of course, it has also said that Israel has a right to defend itself. So, where do we go from here? It seems that in the perception of Israel, Iran is now considerably weakened. The front line of defense for Iran always was its proxies. Now these proxies are considerably weakened. The most important proxy was Hezbollah, but Hezbollah has been weakened to such an extent that it is not willing to take part in the present hostilities. So what happens next? As it is, the Israelis in October last year were able to weaken the military sites because they attacked in October last year these sites and were able to weaken Iran. So it seems that the Israeli perception is that this threat which comes to them from Iran should be knocked out now, and this is a very good opportunity for them. And they are, in fact, also working towards a regime change. So how things develop from here is open to question, but it seems that at the moment, given the American position, as the previous panelist pointed out, President Trump has left early from the G7 summit. He has asked for a meeting of his security-related authorities. He has said that he intends to take some action, and that is not going to be in the context of bringing about peace, but he said, what I want to do is obvious. So in other words, I think the signs are that there could be some more escalation. Now, let me also add that by itself, Israel doesn't have the power to strike well inside the bunkers which Iran has constructed and inside which its nuclear sites are protected. But the Americans have that power. They have those much bigger missiles, and they have the bombers on which these missiles could be carried. So if the Americans are joining in the conflict, and I don't rule it out at this stage, if they are joining in this conflict, then the threat to Iran is considerably greater than what it has been till now. And I do note the words of President Trump asking people in Tehran to evacuate the city. So as I see it, the position is quite serious, and I don't rule out escalation.